Hey guys, Duke here with a little live commentary. I'm going to be playing some online versus as the Leafs versus... Oh, that's a good start. But this is something new I want to try. It's probably going to be all over the place because I'm an idiot. And I'm bad at live commentaries and this is lagging already. Great. But today, topic is why the Leafs suck. Because they don't get breaks like this, which I'm going to score on. Oh, Cooper stoned me. Anyways, back to JVR being on a fast break again. We're going to talk about why the Leafs are so bad this year. This is coming off their 9-2 loss. They played again tonight, which you'll probably be seeing the day after, though. So last night, maybe they won, maybe they didn't. I don't know. But they lost 9-2. 9-2 to Nashville. A team, when you look at the roster, they don't look very good, besides Weber, Rene, Forsberg. But, like, you look at the roster, you're like, oh, yeah, Leafs got this. But they don't. They're playing really well. And what I think comes down to is coaching and management. This is a bad idea, bad idea. Come on, Gardner, get back. I don't think Carlisle is the coach the Leafs need. They need someone who can teach them. They're a young team. They need someone to teach them hockey. There's two kind of coaches, I believe. There's motivators and strategic coaches. Coaches who set up plays like that, awesome one, who teach the players how to win games. Guys like Laviolette is one example. That was not good, and I don't know why he didn't shoot it. But yeah, guys like Laviolette, he's a real strategist, I guess. Is that even a word? I don't know. But he's like a really strategic coach. He makes plays. He teaches guys where the puck's going to be. That's what makes him a good team, I believe. Last year, I wanted them to pick up Laviolette so bad and get rid of Carlisle, the Leafs. It would have been a perfect fit, I think. Nashville got a great deal having him. He's a great coach for them. He'll do wonders there, I think. He's definitely going to make that team better, just the coach. And then there's guys like Tortorella. He's a motivator. He's not going to teach you anything about hockey, but he's gonna make you feel pretty fucking good and get you pretty fired up. That's just the kind of coach he is. Obviously, he knows a bit about hockey, or else he wouldn't be an NHL coach. And with Carlisle, he's kind of like, I don't know exactly what he is. He's not like a strategist because he's not teaching the team anything. And he's not a motivator because they're pretty dead out there. They're not motivated to play the game at all. So what I've noticed with Carlisle is he's trying to make players do things that they don't do. He's trying to make Gardner be this stay-at-home defensive defenseman, which has turned him to an absolutely terrible player. Making Gardner try and be this defensive defenseman, which he's not. He's this offensive kid. I still think under the right coaching, Gardner can be good. He shows sparks of greatness. He honestly does. Potential greatness. Offensively, at least. He's not a defensive defenseman. If you let him play offensively, let him play his game, he's going to be a good defenseman in the league. He's not going to be Carlson. He's not going to be a Shea Weber or shooter or anything, but he's going to be a solid top 4 defenseman. And right now, he's the worst defenseman on the team. Speaking of defense, Stuart Percy. The kid who was doing the best, like playing better than anybody else on the team, they sent him down. That was a while ago, but still, he was the best defenseman on the team when they sent him down. Outplaying Phaneuf, outplaying Polak. First of all, I don't like Polak. You put him on a good team like St. Louis, he's going to do good. And then they trade away Gunnarsson. I loved Gunnarsson. He was one of my favorite Leafs defensemen. He was always good. And again with Gardner, I'm all over the place right now because I'm playing a game and I'm trying to talk. But with Gardner, you're putting him out there with Phaneuf. Phaneuf! The biggest plug on the team, the biggest pylon, people to skate around. You're leaving the kid out to dry. You're going to end his career before it even starts. I don't think they need to fire Gillis. I think they need to get rid of Carlisle. I think they need to shake up that team. Like 3 or 4 years ago, after that McCabe, Caberlet, Sundin era, I think they needed to rebuild. You know what they did? They did it the cheaty way. They traded away draft picks for better players. They didn't rebuild. They replaced. And sometimes that works, yes, but in this case, it really didn't. They traded for guys like Phaneuf. They got Jaguar, who didn't exactly work out. Guys like Toscoli, they traded a first-round pick, who ended up being Logan Couture. They could have had Logan Couture. And again, traded away a prospect in Rask for Raycroft. Fucking Raycroft. Don't even get me started on him. But like that just wasn't a good deal. Yeah, you kind of got to play the odds sometimes. And sometimes it works out, sometimes it doesn't. This time it didn't. But again, they're trading away. Oh, and then for the fucking Kessel, they traded away what could have been Sagan. You know what? It was a solid deal all around. They got a good player, and so did Boston draft a good player. Both teams won there. That's just a good deal. I'm not saying that Kessel was a bad deal. One great deal the Leafs made was JVR for Shen. I never really liked Shen out of being drafted, but I still think I think Philly's a perfect fit for him. Not a whole lot of pressure, a real beat-down team, a real tough team, grindy team, which is his game, which I think is a perfect fit for him, but not... Oh my God, really? That's Maple Leaf luck right there. That's Maple Leaf luck. That's why Leafs suck. And another thing I always see people talk about is how good the Marlies are. Just because you have a good AHL team doesn't mean you have good prospects. I mean, all the Marlies guys that are good are like 24, 25-year-old guys who aren't going to make an NHL team. They're just really good AHL players, and they'll never be good NHL players. If you had a team full of 19 or 20-year-olds, yeah, you know, you're going to have a good team in the future probably, most likely. I'm not saying that's for sure. But you look at a team like Edmonton, who probably rebuilded the right way, and they're still not exactly doing things right. But that's just, I don't know what's going on with that. Don't even ask me about Edmonton. That's a whole other commentary on its own. I want it. Oh, I would have had that. Yeah, Edmonton's a cluster on its own. I'm not going to get into that today, maybe another day. If you guys enjoyed this, of course, because this is something different for my channel that I don't usually do. But I like talking about hockey. I like talking about what things going on, what teams need to do, because of course, I have tons of experience in the GM department. Not at all. I have none. Now, Leafs have a whole... It's funny, when you look at teams like Nashville and Toronto, you compare them. Nashville, I'm pretty sure, but like 80% sure they have a fixed cap, meaning the owner sets their cap, not the league, because they can afford the $60 million or whatever the cap is now. So they have to work with what they're given, what they can afford. Well, a team like Toronto is pushed right to the cap. They spent all their cap money. And yet, Nashville's beating Toronto 9-2. You can argue that an off night, but still, it's a fact that the Leafs have been shit in the bed lately. That's just fact. You look at the games. What was the Pittsburgh or Buffalo game? That was like 6-3 or 6-2, I believe, maybe? Or I don't know. It was a bad game either way. Robitaille with end-end rush. You know this is a video game because you know he can't skate for shit because he's got broken legs. Santorelli, he hasn't really done much this year, but I still like that signing. I think that was a good signing by them. To add some depth at center that they don't really usually have. And then there's the Komarov deal. Oh, I'm just skating circles around these dudes. You're giving a guy like Komarov money that he just isn't worth at all. It's just a silly thing. I don't know why they want... I mean, he's a good, gritty player. They have enough of those in the minors. That's not a problem for Leafs. They have Livo. They have Kozin. There's a million guys who could play his position, take his role. People would fight for that. He's just not worth the money. I don't get it. Like, you get a guy like Richard Panik. Just like, honestly, a lot like Komarov. He doesn't score goals. Komarov's a small guy. It's just not worth it. I don't get that money, where that money comes from. I know it's free agency. And teams, you got to overspend for players, but you don't need it. Like Winnick. I love the signing of Winnick. I think he'll do good, but just still, it's silly shit, the Leafs. I don't know what's going on in the front office. I mean, yes, I have no coaching experience or anything, but I've won a lot of sports things. I know what it takes, and this team's just... They have no heart when you watch them play. It's sad. It's pathetic to watch them play. Because they just... I mean, they look sad after the game, but when they're on the ice, they're not showing that they care. After the game, they're like, you know what, we just didn't... We fucked up. It was our fault. You know, we just didn't play. But when they're on the ice, why aren't you just trying? I mean, like, it's the same shit after every game. It's, oh, things aren't going our way. It's just, you know, man, my check bounced. You know, my $4 million this year just isn't cutting it, and I'm just not playing well enough. Fuck, I know. I know you're not playing good enough. They're just repeating the same things after every goddamn game. It's sickening. They don't care. I think goaltending-wise, Leafs are fine. They have two solid goalies who love to compete. I always love that two-goalie tandem thing that teams have going because it pushes each other more. When you have one goalie, like, say, just a Carey Price or just a Ryan Miller or Luongo, they kind of sit back. Like, you know what? They don't always do. That's a lie. They don't always do. But they can get the idea, that they can just sit back and no one's going to challenge them for their job. When you have two guys constantly competing for the #1 job, they're fighting every night for their job. It's just what it is. I love that. And it worked out well at the beginning of last year. They were both playing great. And then things just gone downhill because they have no defense. You still need defense. No matter how good your goalie is, defense helps. They're not elite goalies. They're not terrible goalies. They are both very good goalies. Both #1 goalies, I believe. I like Bernier more than Reimer. Reimer's just a little bit more inconsistent, I think. Bernier, he can still grow. Reimer, I think he's kind of hit his peak. Get something in my ear. And then there's Franz they have to re-sign after this year, I think it is. Which he's probably one of the best defensemen on the team right now. And he's just going to cost them a fortune. Not even going to be afford to keep him because they're so fucked up. And now you can say they need to rebuild or anything, but how is this team going to rebuild? The players have contracts that no one wants. No one's going to take Sveneff's contract. No one's going to take Kessel's. Maybe someone's going to take Kessel. That's a lie. But it's going to be a huge trade, and no one has room for it, though. So you have to be taking more cap back. No one's going to take Komarov. No one's going to take fucking... Well, someone will take Gardner, who will take a chance on him. That's a nice save, Bernier. So no one's going to take Spanuff. No one's going to take Bozak. No one's going to take fucking Gardner. No one's going to take Polak. They're fucked. They can't rebuild. It's like a 10-year goal if they want to rebuild. And people argue, oh, they made the playoffs 2 years ago, whatever. It was a shortened season with the fucking easiest schedule in the league. I hope they made the playoffs. I mean, it would have been a lot worse if they didn't. Well, fuck, what was that? But when you look at every year, they always have a stretch. They'll either start really good and end bad, or start bad and end good. So when you take away only half the season, you're only left with one half where they're going to do good, apparently, and they make playoffs. If that was a full year, they wouldn't have done shit. They would not have made the playoffs. I would put money on that. I could take my time machine, go back, prevent the lockout, and they will make the playoffs. So anyways, what I think the Leafs need to do? Nothing. They're just fucked. Literally, let's just start with a new coach. Because they have skilled players. They honestly do. They have... What am I doing? Nick Riley even sucks. No, I like Riley. They have skilled players. They have potential to be a top 8 team in the East. They're not completely fucked. Like, they're a playoff team on paper. It's just, when you put the pieces together, they don't exactly fit like the way it would. Some of them are water damaged. Some are just... fuck. I'm sucking this game. But they have the pieces to be a team. It's just one of those things that it needs... new pieces, some newer pieces. You don't need to shake up the entire team. The media needs... Everyone says the media is hard on them. Half the media is owned by Bell and Rogers, for fuck's sakes. Easily 80-75%. So you're saying the media is hard on them? Well, Bell and Rogers can fix that real easy. They own the media. No other market has that. No other team's media is owned by the same owners. Like, the media's not too hard on them. It's just... They're just looking for excuses. Now, I know I've been all over the place this video, guys. I apologize. But if you guys do enjoy this is something I'm going to do a lot more often. I am having fun talking about this. I'll talk about other topics around the league. Maybe about some of Pittsburgh's health troubles. I think the team's poisoning them. I'm just putting that out there. They hired the trainer of the team's actually a closet Philly fan, and he's just been slowly poisoning everybody on the team, give them cancer, blood clots and stuff, fun stuff like that that'll slowly destroy their career, and diagnosing Crosby with multiple concussions. So that's just my theory. We'll talk about it maybe another episode. Go on the net! Also, let me know how my mic sounds. I'm using my headset mic. I wonder if that's any better than my Snowball I usually use. I think it might actually be. Oh! Are you kidding me? How? Fucking spider goalie. That's bullshit. Also, Clark's another cap nobody will take. They're stuck with him. Oh my god! Go enough. Come on, Captain Clutch. Not Clutch. Well, hope you guys enjoyed. Click that like button if you did. Subscribe if you guys want to see more. Let me know what you guys want me to talk about next time. Have an awesome day. Peace out. 27-12. I fucking spanked him. 10 minutes on attack to 3. Just passing 72-58. What the fuck did I do wrong? Oh yeah. I didn't score goals.